tips to substantial long-term payments that can exceed $100,000 annually for high-level cases.
What? That mean, look, y'all not getting it though. Look, hold on. Let's go pull out the calculator. Let's go pull out the calculator real quick, y'all. Look, $100K a year, y'all. $100K a year. Is that right? How many O's is that? I bet. And you divide that by 12. You getting about, is that $100K? Yeah. You getting about $8,000 a month, cuz. Everybody knew someone was gonna snitch in the Little Durk case. As it now has come to light, OTF Gem has snitched, also been able to be released, and everybody is like, wow. It's crazy. That man done did all this for you and you turn your back.
With trial coming up for Little Durk, and the obvious fact that there's a lot of cooperators seeming to come out the woodworks like many of us have called out from the beginning, it seemed like now these guys are finally noticing the end results of the streets. Whether it's a gravesite or a jail cell for a bunch of years, because the same guy who you called homie, brother, bro, twin, gang them, they flipped on you because they couldn't hold water when the pressure started coming down. And I've told y'all numerous of times, if you in the streets right now, it's best you quit while you are ahead.
Facts.
Or at least think you are. Because with technology at an all-time high and cameras everywhere, to the feds being able to seize everything, and none of these companies are concerned with the privacy of the people, down to the snitches getting paid a yearly salary, it's just not worth it. See, back in the day, there were snitches, of course, but the snitches knew that there were repercussions. The problem is today, the snitches are just as tough as the gangsters, and the feds have made it so comfortable for them that now these guys have a salary.
No, dead ass. Look at Charleston White. Charleston White is a good example of that shit. That boy Charleston White will troll the shit out of you, rage bait the shit out of you, make you want to crash out, and then put all the laws on your ass, talking about, oh, that's assault, you did this, I'm fearing for my life, and put your ass in jail, and get paid with it, and go take the stand on your ass. Like, the snitching is crazy now. Like, bro, they literally giving out 50, 100K, 150K to snitch on niggas now. Like, it's crazy. Like, you could real life get rich off snitching now. Who would have thought in 2026 you can get rich off snitching? The streets ain't the streets no more, fellas. Y'all better lock in.
Police don't even have to infiltrate gangs no more like they did back in the days. They're paying your close childhood friends and sometimes even family members to do their dirty work for them, and they're getting paid a handsome salary, all while they sit at a desk. And just think, isn't it ironic how the average African-American man averages about $53,000 per year? When you do the math, that's about $1,000 and some change a week, totaling up to $4,000 a month. Then you deduct at least $15,000 from that for rent if you're living in New York, which brings you down to $2,500, and that don't even include just everyday life expenses, groceries, gas, and etc. And honestly, those statistics are finicky because I remember working a construction job some time ago that wasn't a part of the union, and I was only bringing in $523 a week sometimes, putting me just over $2,000 a month.
Damn.
Now with that being said, the reason I bring that up is because as you work your butt off, whether it's an office job or whatever, there's a person right now cooperating with law enforcement who's making just as much as you, or maybe even more. According to statistics, when it comes to how much money a confidential informant can make, Google will state, quote, as of May 2026, compensation for individuals cooperating with law enforcement, often referred to as confidential informants, vary significantly, ranging from small, one-time payments for specific tips to substantial long-term payments that can exceed $100,000 annually for high-level cases.
What? That mean, look, y'all not getting it though. Look, hold on. Let's go pull out the calculator. Let's go pull out the calculator real quick, y'all. Look, $100K a year, y'all. $100K a year. Is that right? How many O's is that? I bet. And you divide that by 12. You getting about, is that $100K? Yeah. You getting about $8,000 a month, cuz. That's literally 100% more than what a normal person would get. That's way more than 100% more than what a person would get at a regular job. I'm really not surprised these street niggas started snitching. The trap moving slow, the feds taking that down. What else? Y'all can't go steal no more because the feds be putting y'all in bait cars. And then what else? Y'all don't want to go get no jobs because y'all ego's too big. Y'all pride in the way. What else? Let me know if I'm missing something, Tad. Let me know.
Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world. However, I do know that most jobs paying you $100K a year, you mostly have to either have a degree for or know someone that knows someone.
Facts.
Or put in a hell of a lot of overtime where you're not even getting a chance to spend the money because you're working way too much. Meanwhile, there's someone giving up information on their peers for that same amount for little to no work involved, other than providing law enforcement information on you. And it doesn't stop there because according to Google, data indicates a wide range of annual pay for informants, with average earnings frequently reported in the $60,000 to $90,000 range, depending on the intensity of cooperation and location. Payments are generally based on the value of the information provided and the risk involved rather than a fixed salary. High-stake informants, such as those operating within large criminal organizations, may receive weekly payments, plus bonuses. Federal agencies, including the FBI and DEA, may pay high-level informants large sums over several years, with reports of some earning over $140,000.
Bruh, that's almost $1 million. That's over $700K in several years. Imagine snitching for 7 years. Boy, that's hella. Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. Some of these rap niggas and some of these street niggas be coming up out of nowhere. They be going to jail. They be going to jail for the big, I wouldn't say big ad crime, but they be going to jail for the middle level ad crimes. And then they be coming home next day. They'll come home, they'll get arrested on a Friday, come home on a Sunday, but you can't see the judge till a Monday. So how you come home on a Sunday?
For their work. Sheesh. Now, with some of y'all watching this video right now who go to work on time every day, make sure you do your job to the best of your ability, all whilst putting up with coworkers you can't even stand, and yet you still haven't gotten any bonuses despite you being there for a couple years. Meanwhile, you have confidential informants easily making high salaries plus bonuses, sitting in the hood for years collecting information for the Fed. How many of y'all remember during the FBG Durk trial, it was revealed that a certain someone worked for the feds and was paid over $25,000 within 15 installments for information pertaining to the Black disciples and other information credible to the FBG Durk case. That same witnesses claim to have been working with the feds twice prior to that incident, where he helped them with a case about a decade before that trial. And I'm gonna leave that there. Moral of the story is this: these days, cooperating is at an all-time high, and majority of the time, it's gonna come from the person you least expect. So it's hard to trust anybody, especially when they're throwing money at these guys for something that most of them would have done for free. Now, all of this is important because recently we will find out that Little Durk affiliate Murder Man will come out with a message about snitches who make a yearly salary, coincidentally after ex-OTF affiliate OTF Jam will be released, with a message for everyone that had something to say about him. Whether it was the ops, close associates, hell, probably even family, whoever. He even dropped his location and let it be known that if anyone had a problem with him before, that's where he would be at, and let him know in his face. He would take to his IG story to say, quote,
He only saying that, hold on.
6 East, 164th PH Place, South Highland 30. This for and anybody else that feel like they like that, I'm doing something Sammy the Bull didn't do. I'm dropping my own location, fresh out on house arrest. I'm trying to see who's trying to get it in blood. It was a whole lot of woofing when I was in jail. Now it's time to show and prove.
Now, what I was trying to say was, he only did this, y'all. Y'all listen up. He only did this because he knows y'all niggas show up, he finna Charleston White y'all ass. Y'all finna be right in jail, boy. Y'all didn't know y'all can get in trouble for touching a federal informant? Boy, your ass finna get years, boy. You finna get an aggravated charge. You finna, if you show up with guns, you probably gonna get a possession. What else? If you a felon, oh yeah, bro, this nigga literally taking down OTF. And any nigga around OTF, what? Who was it? 600, 300? I don't care who it was, to be honest. This nigga is telling it all, bro. Like, I know Durk behind that wall, like, damn, bro, I thought that was my, why should you call your homies? Type shit.
Now, this will come after he was released and he's on house arrest, and he went as far as dropping his location but compared himself to Sammy the Bull, who was an infamous rat for the Gambino crime family. Why would he compare himself to him? I don't know. But let me tell y'all this. Anybody with a brain knows not to fall for the bait when it comes to OTF Jam dropping his location. I don't care if he dropped every single location from when he was in high school. Although he's released, you know the feds are still monitoring him, as they most likely doing the same thing with his social media. So if you even think for a second that you're gonna do anything to him, you're better off just walking yourself into the nearest precinct to save yourself the hassle. Simple as that. Now, on another note, Murder Man will coincidentally take to his IG story not too long after, and he will state, quote, "The feds pay their informants $85,000 a year. They also give them houses, vehicles, jewelry, drugs, guns, etc. Whatever the rat need to be able to get to their target, man, y'all be safe. Y'all stay dangerous out here." Now, I must say his math was a little bit off because, as we explained earlier, they're paying the average informant $60,000 to $90,000. In high-profile cases, the informant get up to $140,000 in the Fed. So yes, it's a very lucrative job, especially for someone who don't got anything going for themselves or don't got nothing to lose. And let's be clear, if you get caught in a jam, they don't pay. They use you as a result of not putting you in jail, so cooperating becomes your alternative. However, the ones that don't have jail time hanging over their heads and want to cooperate for a little bit of money, well, there you go. Now, we couldn't help but realize that this post would come shortly after OTF Jam posted what he said, but does that mean he's talking about him? Not necessarily. It just happens to be a big coincidence considering everyone's labeling OTF Jam a snitch and him getting out a little early on house arrest. But judging from the way he posted that, it also tells you whether he's talking about OTF Jam or not, things might not be looking good for Durk because there's a lot of people being confidential informants. Because why else would he mention that? Whether it's OTF Jam like people may think or somebody else. Clearly there's some cooperating going on and it may be detrimental to his case. We don't know who it is, to be honest. It's just a funny coincidence that Jam said what he said. And shortly after, Durk affiliate Murder Man speaks up and speaks on snitches and their salary. So y'all let us know in the comments, do y'all think he's referring to Jam? Or do you think that he was just speaking in general? Now, as far as Jam, it hasn't been confirmed anywhere 100% that he did snitch. Let's make that very clear. But many people are skeptical due to him getting out of jail as fast as he is and due to close affiliates saying what they say about him. My only gripe with him is why compare yourself to Sammy the Bull out of all people, knowing the allegations that's already on your name. I don't know if he meant it like that, but it sure wasn't a good look speaking on yourself and referencing a well-known cooperator. But anyway, y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. How do y'all feel about this whole situation? And once again, do y'all think that Murder Man is referring to OTF Jam?
Hell yeah.